What are these ABC activity rates? Well, they're a lot like departmental rates. With departmental rates, each department in the production process has a different overhead rate. With ABC, the production process is broken down into activities. An activity is something that uses or consumes overhead. Each activity has a different activity rate. Let's walk through an example. Assume our company has identified 4 major activities: production orders, machine setups, labor-related functions, and general factory processes. Like all overhead rates, we need to know 2 details to calculate an overhead rate. The first is how much money will be spent on overhead, specifically how much we expect to spend on overhead for each activity. Overhead costs accumulated for each activity are referred to as activity cost pools. Second, we need to know what we will use to allocate the overhead. Before, we described this as the allocation base. With ABC, we refer to this as the activity measure. But it's the same concept. What is using or consuming the overhead? That will be our activity measure for each activity. Once we've thought about it, we decide these are our best activity measures for each activity. Production orders, number of orders. Machine setups, number of setups. Labor-related functions, direct labor hours. General factory processes, machine hours. Let's assume the following are our estimates for the total overhead costs for each activity. Remember, we're calculating these rates at the beginning of the year or period before we make any products, so these are estimated amounts. Next, we estimate our activity measure for each activity. These estimates for total cost and total activity measure are for the entire company. All products made are included to get these estimates. We could make 3 different types of products or 3,000. Either way, we would estimate cost and the activity measures for all of these products and add them together by category to get these numbers. All that is left to calculate our activity rates is to divide the total estimated overhead cost for each activity, those cost pools, by the total estimated activity measure for each of those activities. For production orders, we would take that $2.2 million and divide it by the 3,900 orders. So our activity rate for production orders would be $564 and approximately 10 cents per order. We would do the same for each of the other activity measures and end up with an activity rate for machine setups of $439.02 per setup. For labor-related activities, $2.17 per direct labor hour. And for general factory, we would have $30 per machine hour. We've got our activity rates. The next step is to use them to allocate and apply overhead to products as they are made.